So good morning. We're in Pondicherry, home of French colony that's spread all over India. Pondicherry is a territory, but it finds itself in Kerala, in Tamil Nadu, and Andhra Pradesh. The majority language spoken here is Tamil. I'll let you have all the food. If you look in the distance, you'll see the lighthouse up there, and you can see that this is an old town. It was first settled by the Romans in the 3rd century BC, and then afterward it transferred power between the Portuguese, who were the first here in the 15th century, and then came the Dutch, and then came the French, and the French seem to have exercised the most amount of influence, and it passed from hand to hand over time. It was captured by the Dutch, and the Dutch gave it back, and then it was captured by the English, and the English gave it back. Then it was captured again in 1693, if I'm not mistaken, and handed once again back to the French. And the French continued all the way up until 1954, until there was a resolution for Pondicherry, the Union territory of Pondicherry, to be transferred back to India, which India was already a country by that time period. 1948 India. Here's a street down here. We're going to be following that street probably all the way up to the seaside. We'll take a promenade today through the White Town, the French area, to give you an idea. Kind of depressing. We've got a lot of rain, but it does look promising. It looks like it might clear up today. Let's hope so, because I really don't relish on my days off to have 5 days of rain. And you can see here that the architecture is a unique mixture of colors and styles. So you do have some Portuguese influence, some Dutch influence, some English influence, some French influence, of course Indian influence as well, right? And then in 1962, finally the French handed over, passed a resolution in the French Parliament, because there was opposition in France to losing the French East India Company holdings. This was the French East India Company. We often hear about the British East India Company, the EIC, but we very rarely hear about the French East India Company. There was trade in precious stones, and the power also at one time passed into the hands of a sultan, a Muslim sultan called, I think his name was Bajaral, and the French worked together